So the Begara B14r, there's a lot of videos out there doing a lot of reviews, and what I've seen from folks reviewing these actions is that it has a weird kind of a bolt lift. It has a kind of a double click on the upstroke. So as it goes up there, it hits the primary extraction, then go a little further, it brings the bolt back a little further back. However, there's also a weird hang up right on the bottom stroke here. Now, this being a brand new production Begara, this is the newer production as of this year, I can definitely tell that this bolt is, for some reason, a lot smoother than some of the Begara B14s. So as an example here, it does have a double click, 1, 2, but on the downstroke, you'll see it hang up right about there. See? Kind of has a weird click on this one. This one doesn't seem to have it. It's like actually a little bit smoother. So one of the things that was talked about smoothing the actions out on these Begara B14Rs is to basically radius the actual sear engagement on the firing pin. So let's take apart one of these firing pins on the older one, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So here's the firing pin assembly on the Begara B14R. Essentially how you take this apart is pretty simple. If you look at here, this notch, there's actually a through hole which allows you to put a 1.5 inch Allen key to hold that firing pin in place. So what we're going to do is counterclockwise twist this thing to get off the little ledge here, which this is where we're going to focus on. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'll zoom in here. Where the point of that firing pin engages on the back of that bolt is the sear engagement for the firing pin. What we're going to do is actually radius out this little section right here with the Dremel, as well as polish it up. But to disassemble the Begara B14R bolt, you counterclockwise twist this to get it up, and then go ahead and get yourself a 1.5 millimeter Allen head wrench, stick it in through the hole here, and then after that you should be able to pop it into the fired portion and start unscrewing the actual firing pin assembly. So let me go ahead and remove this firing pin assembly and get a close-up on the actual sear engagement that we're talking about. So right here, get my finger to point at it, is where we're going to kind of focus on radiusing out that little area. Now you want to be careful, because once you take off too much material, then you'll have a ND, or accidental discharge. So you don't really want that to happen. Obviously we want this thing to be safe. Let me go ahead and get a Dremel tool, and let's get that radiused out a little bit, and let's polish that surface up. On a quick side note, you can actually see where that firing pin assembly right here on the nub there has been riding on the bolt body itself, just on that inner portion. So it's a good indicator of where you need to actually file down or radius or polish up. Okay, so we're back, and if you guys could see that, I ended up just ever so slightly radiusing out that little lip right there and giving it a good polish with the Dremel. So didn't get too crazy. It actually didn't take too long at all. Let's go ahead and put this all back together and do a function check and see if that improved the actual bolt feel itself. Oh yeah, I could definitely tell already that feels a lot better. So get that back in the groove, basically pull the pin, and let's see what this does. Okay, let's see how this bolt feels now. And yes, that is absolutely smoother. I could definitely tell. And let me rack this thing hard just to make sure I don't get an accidental discharge. Still there. So rifle is definitely safe, but I could definitely tell that made a big difference. There's still a little bit of a click right about here, but it's definitely not really noticeable if you're pretty much operating the bolt as normal. I mean, it locks down pretty damn smooth. So that's a good little benefit there. Like I said, if you're going to do this mod, definitely don't get overzealous and take off too much material. You still need a little bit of a lip, obviously for safety reasons, but that's a huge improvement, and I'm liking that.